It is the 25th of October 2022, and yes, it is another beautiful day, an exciting day to bring you the newspaper review here on TAP TV. My name is Cyril Aloysius, and thank you so much for joining me. Mr. Victor Sioku is the man once again to do justice with me to the papers. Mr. Victor, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I'm
How have
super.
you been?
I'm fine. I'm good. I can see that you are getting bigger and bigger, like I always say. I don't know what it is that you take that you have refused to tell me, but it is not fair. It's not fair.
I just take water and I mind my business.
Not true.
This is the 100th
That
time.
is not true. That is not true. Okay, so first we'll begin the newspaper review today by looking at this day newspaper, and headlines in this day here says IG FCT minister ramp up security in Abuja over terror threat. IG FCT minister ramp up security in Abuja over terror threat. Okay. Another headline here in this day says Obaseki, Nigeria will break if APC wins 2023 presidential poll. That's according to Obaseki. Obaseki is saying that Nigeria will break if APC wins 2023 presidential poll. Okay. Another interesting headline on this day, that's on page 12, says Buhari hails Rishi Sunak, incoming British Prime Minister. Buhari hails Rishi Sunak, incoming British Prime Minister. That's on page 12 of this day. Another interesting headline that's on page 5 of this day, we have NUPRC grants 247 permits for export of 480 meter barrels of crude oil and the others. Okay, that's on page 5. And lastly, on this day for today, we have Census 2023, Buhari's best legacy for national planning development. Census 2023, Buhari's best legacy for national planning development. Okay, that's the much we can take in this day. Mr. Victor, please, which of these headlines would you like to react to?
Okay, I would like to react about the census, the national census that will be coming up next year.
Okay.
But before that, I need to congratulate the people of the UK for choosing a new prime minister. Okay, will I say congratulations or will I say bid them good luck? Okay, because this is more like their fifth prime minister in 7 years. Okay, and the third prime minister in about just about 2 months. Okay,
Wow.
So big kudos to them. Well, the cool thing about this
and we
is
also pray that Sunak doesn't resign as well.
that in less than 45 days.
Wow.
Right? But the cool thing about this is that when you bring it to when you relate it to the Nigerian side, you find out that, see, the UK and the rest of the world, okay, they have grown so well that diversity is going so well up there. Okay, reason in Nigeria you cannot consider a non will I say a non even a non-Christian and a non-Muslim to become the president of this country. But in their own case, for the first time in the history of the United Kingdom, they are having a non-Christian becoming a prime minister. Okay, he's a Hindi. He's from the Hindu extraction of the religion, the word of religion. Okay, so he's from India. Okay, in as much as yes, he's British citizen, but he is deep-rooted an Indian man. At the end of the day, he practices their religion. He lives in quote like an Indian. Okay, so just in come on, this is not what I'm here to talk about. But in Nigeria, we are having a country that having a Muslim ticket. In fact, everywhere is boiling already. Okay, so just imagine.
Now looking like Nigeria is a Muslim country.
Yes. So just imagine a situation whereby we have will I say somebody that practices Buddhism, okay, becoming a president of Nigeria.
That would be very funny. That would be very, very funny.
My brother, it will not work. In fact, your party, even the smallest party, will not even accept you.
Yeah.
Okay, so kudos to them. We just pray that that Sunak will bring will revitalize the economy for them, okay? And it also is a place to note that, see, over there, they value their youth. Or, yeah, you might say that he's no longer youth because he has surpassed the age of 40, but he's just 42, and he's a vibrant man. We just hope that he will just breathe a new, fresh, fresh air. Well, just like I just wanted to just not use the word fresh air, but we just pray that he comes up victorious.
Exactly.
Okay, in the coming months and years, hopefully. So back to our discussion, planning. That's the census, which is equivalent to just planning. Okay. When you bring census, you equate it with planning. So good thing that the president wants to have a fact sheet. This is not just about us making approximations and assumptions. Census is a welcome idea from my own point of view, because it's way too long that we've not done census in this country. Come to think of it, the last time we did a census, it was in 2006. 2006 to now is just about, okay, 2006 and 2023, because it's not going to happen in 2022. 2006 to April 2023 means that 17 years, in 17 years, we'll be having a census. Thank God that the president, in his wisdom and his capacity, in quote, okay, is coming out to say, see, let's have a census, okay? Yes, some persons are against it because of the funds that will be used to do the census, okay? But I am very happy about that because, see, in this country, we need data. As in, when I mean original data and not just by making assumption. And the good part,
data.
Yes, the good part of having a census is it will help you in planning. It will help you in planning with respect to healthcare. Okay. So that we'll know, okay, let's say, for instance, they come to your community. We'll be able to know the demographics. We'll be able to know, say that we have, like, this number of elderly. We have this number of children. You have this number of youths. In fact, it will even help FMGs, as in fast-moving commodities and goods, okay, to know that, see, as in FMG companies, to know that, see, by these numbers, we can be able to say, okay, we have this number of children in this community. So if we are an Indomie company, I mean a noodle company or a beverage company, we'll be like, okay, this is our target market. And what does that mean? Having a very robust data, a big data to say, and I pray that this census should not just be about counting how many humans we have in a particular community, okay? We should be able to go down to the little details, because getting the appropriate data, the smallest data, will help us.
It's vital
in bringing in foreign investments, okay? Because these investors, the world investors, will be like, okay, this is the data we are working with. This is our target market. Are you getting that? Okay. So the census, they should not just go out there to say, okay, for the past 17 years, we've not done census. Okay, let's go and do census. They should make sure that those nitty-gritty, the minute, the macro data, they should go and get the macro and the micro data that we need to use to forge ahead the government of detail.
Exactly. Thank you so much for your lights on that particular headline, Mr. Victor. Well, we'll move straight now to the Nation newspaper, where we have more interesting headlines coming up. This one here says, 2023, Wike rejects Atiku. 2023, Wike rejects Atiku. Rivers governor vows not to campaign for PDP standard bearer. Okay. Inaugurates council for Rivers party's candidates. I think there's a quote here. I have never seen how people will disrespect a state like Rivers and go and choose those who are enemies of the state. All right. You want more details on that headline? Get a copy of The Nation for yourself. Sunak becomes 5th UK Prime Minister in 7 years. Okay, I think we already talked about that in the previous paper. Another interesting headline here on page 4 says, IPOB leader Kanu is threat to national security. Federal government tells court. IPOB leader Kanu is threat to national security. Federal government tells court on page 4 of The Nation. APC tackles PDP chieftain over remarks on Tinubu's action plan. APC tackles PDP chieftain over remarks on Tinubu's action plan. On page 25, we have NCC, more 5G licenses on the way. NCC, more 5G licenses on the way. That's on page 25. On page 26, we have 3 customs officers held over banned goods. 3 customs officers held over banned goods. That's on page 26 of The Nation. On page 2 of The Nation, we have EFCC secures final forfeiture of Madueke's Abuja properties. EFCC secures final forfeiture of Madueke's Abuja properties. That's on page 2 of The Nation. On page 2 as well, we have flooding. Lagos puts Ikoyi, Lekki, VI residents on alert. Flooding, Lagos puts Ikoyi, Lekki, VI residents on the alert. I beg your pardon. That's on page 2 of The Nation. And on page 2 as well, we have federal government tackles UAE over visa ban. Federal government tackles UAE over visa ban. That's on page 2. And lastly, on page 25, The Nation, we have UBA's gross earnings hit 608 billion naira in Q3. UBA's gross earnings hit 608 billion naira in Q3. That's on page 25 of The Nation. Okay, that's the much you can take in The Nation. Mr. Victor, which of these headlines really interest you?
The Wike and the Atiku fights, it seems not to be over, and it's like there is no going back right now.
Obviously.
There's no going back. Because the River State Campaign Committee, that's the PDP campaign team, as in the state campaign team, they've inaugurated their board, and there are no pictures of Atiku during their inauguration. And I just don't know how the PDP will win the presidential River State respect to the presidency come 2023.
So do you feel like this would actually spell doom for PDP come next year?
For state, analytically, I think they will win the state because they have a Wike there. The PDP will win the state. But when it comes to the presidency, I do not think so. I don't know whether the governor, that's Wike, will go for Tinubu. Okay, because he needs to support one candidate. I don't know whether he's going to support Tinubu or he's going to support P2B. But I also strongly think that him supporting Tinubu will be very, very tough. Reason because APC, I don't see him dividing APC in the state.
Yeah.
Are you getting me?
Yes.
Magnus Abe, I'm going down to reverse politics. Magnus Abe is from the SDP. Are you getting me?
Okay.
And Magnus Abe is not even supporting the SDP presidential candidate. He's supporting Tinubu.
Okay.
Are you getting me? While Toye Cole, the governorship candidate of the APC, is supporting Tinubu. So are they going to have a kind of clash up there? So River State, in fact, I just pray that this does not cause death, because politics in this state can be very, very dirty. Okay, exactly. I just pray it does not cause death. So coming to in terms of marketing these candidates, and I ask, how will the Atiku get space with respect to the billboards? Remember, the billboards in this state is highly politicized. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Will SDP not SDP rather, will the faction of the PDP we have in the state, will they be able to go and get billboard space? Okay. Because you cannot run an election of the level of presidency and you don't have presidential aspirants having the top presidential aspirants not having billboards in this state. It's really difficult. Okay. So now, and you know what normally what they do is, when they have a governorship candidate in front, they have the presidential candidate by the side. If the billboard is for, sorry, I'm doing the billboard thing because mind you, billboard play a whole lot of role in campaign, in marketing of your candidates. So the question is, how will Atiku appear on these billboards? And come to think of it, these billboards are being bought ahead of time. I mean the mega billboards, not the small, unless you now want to start seeing an article on signboards. So, but when it comes to billboards, these billboards are bought way before time. And you know Wike, I'm sorry to mention this, but you know Wike can be will I say, I want to use a very conservative word. You know Wike can play dirty. Let's use it that way. He can play dirty when it comes to things like this. Okay? So just like how he has told persons out there, if you must campaign in government spaces, you need to deposit 5 million, you need to write a letter before, you need to get approval 2 weeks before the time, and all that. So I'm thinking that he will find avenues to crush, sorry I'm using a hard word now, plans. But the crush, yeah, let's use plans, to crush the plans of Atiku with respect to campaigning in these states. So he might go so dirty that even the presidential campaign rally that will happen in the states, that Atiku might be struggling to get a space where he will do this. He will do his campaign. Like we have, yes, we have plenty stadiums here, about 3 or 4 that he can use. But the question will be now, will it be released for him? I don't know if you get my point. So, well, so it will just be a dirty adventure. Already with the cars that they launched the cars that they are going to use for the campaign, there was no place where Atiku's face was shown. Okay, it was just about Mike's face and Cemetery, that's the governorship aspirant of the PDP. So my brother, I just pray that. Do you feel like if
Atiku had apologized to Wike before now, probably this whole situation wouldn't have gotten to this level?
See, mind you, if we go back to history, this was not just only about Atiku. It was just for the IU to step down.
Step down, yes.
Atiku has already stated that, see, it is not in my power. I'm just only a presidential candidate. Okay. It's not in my power to tell this chairman to step down.
Wike actually felt like, okay, Atiku had as much influence to persuade IU to step down, but he just didn't want to. Maybe because he preferred IU over him, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So, it's still the newspaper review. Before we move straight to our next and last paper, we'll go on a quick break. And when we return, more headlines coming your way. Please stay tuned.
Now that you have registered for your PVC, it doesn't stop there. Ensure you pick up your PVC. Be alert. Join many Nigerians to vote credible leaders that will change the tide of this nation. Do not sell your vote. Remember, this is our future. Your vote is your voice.
This message is proudly brought to you by Thav Media Limited.
Welcome back from that short break, and thanks for staying faithful to your screen. Taking you now to our last paper for the day, which is the Daily Sun. Some interesting headlines here in Daily Sun. Says, this one on page 4, tension in Abuja over U.S. terror alert. Tension in Abuja over U.S. terror alert. Schools send students home. Security beefed up in hotels, worship centers, markets. Police begin nationwide emergency counter-terrorism operations. Okay, that's on page 4 of the Daily Sun. On page 3, we have 2023 polls. Nigeria at crossroads, according to Lawan. 2023 polls, Nigeria at crossroads, according to Lawan on page 3. Another one here says on page 26, Abia Speaker Orji mourns Ekiti counterpart Afuye. That's on page 26. On page 26 as well, we have, we don't trust federal government, ASU tells Gbajabiamila. We don't trust federal government, ASU tells Gbajabiamila, says acceptance of IPPIS interim measure. That's on page 26 of Daily Sun. On page 28, we have Madu's community short market praised for God. Federal government intervention. Okay, Madu's community short market praised for God. FG's intervention. That's on page 28 of Daily Sun. On page 6, we have insecurity. Obi pledges not to spare underperforming service chiefs, ministers. In security, Obi pledges not to spare underperforming service chiefs and ministers. That's on page 6. On page 5, we have Kanu. Appeal Court reserves judgment in federal government's stay of execution application. That's on page 5. On page 27, we have produce flood prevention plan in 90 days. Buhari orders minister. Produce flood prevention plan in 90 days. Buhari orders minister. That's on page 27. And lastly, on page 23, we have Citadel business partner accuses Benjamin Joseph of blackmailing Xenox chairman. Citadel business partner accuses Benjamin Joseph of blackmailing Xenox chairman. Get all the details on that headline on page 23 in the Daily Sun. Mr. Victor, how do you want to react on which of these headlines interests you?
I'd like to talk about the flood plan that the president is giving an ultimatum of 90 days for the water minister to go and take care of.
Okay.
Now, I think it's a very good idea. Okay, let's have a proper plan. It's unfortunate that for donkey years, Nigeria does not have a flood prevention plan. Okay, what do I expect them to get from this plan? They should make sure that they get us information with respect to highly probable zones for flooding, so that the people living around there will know that, see you, when it's time for flooding, these are the steps we are going to take. Are you getting that?
It's preventive.
Either with respect to prevention, maybe building some blockages and all that,
Yeah.
or with respect to where to run to when there is an alarm for flood.
Okay.
So this having an IDP up and there, here and there, we should know that, see, if we are having an IDP, let it be here, and because that here, it will be of a higher tendencies for flooding to also occur here, because there are places in the Niger Delta region which some persons ran to use as an IDP camp, and lo and behold, the flood also came to meet them there. Okay. So we should have detailed plan, as in plans that each local government should be aware that, see, this is how it's going to be when the flood level is at this point or this point. Okay. Yes. So that our people should be able to plan. Secondly, I pray through the president is trying to really create some good plans while leaving office, and I just pray that people will not just use it as a waste paper the end of the day.
So why, I keep asking, why must it be when he wants to leave office that all these things begin to play?
My brother, it's better late than never. I just keep it that way. Okay, we know that the government is suffering from many levels of kwashoko, but the cool thing is that, yes, they are trying to develop these plans, which should be a normal thing. What about the previous government? What did they now do? Are you going to say, look at the census that we are talking about? For 17 years, we do not have a census, and even the UN will give you 10 years to make sure that. Was the previous government
this bad, Mr. Victor?
My brother.
Okay, fine. I know that the previous government weren't perfect in all angles, but when it comes to things being bad in Nigeria,
I know when it comes to no. When it comes to
educational
when it comes to economy, education, security,
come on now.
No, I know this government has really failed. I know that's what you want to hear, but see, let's still give kudos where kudos are supposed to be given. Okay. Like what is happening now,
okay,
especially for consensus, for the census rather. Okay, let me just go a bit about the consensus for the census, my brother.
Okay.
See, we live in a country that we do not even know that whether the Christians are the minorities, are the major minorities, or the Muslims. Okay?
Yeah.
In census, we should even know the different religion numbers that we have in the country in terms of population of the religions that we have in the country, so that we even know. For the fact that APC had to even come out with so much guts to say, see, we can do Muslim tickets. Are you sure that they do not have data to tell you that, see, no matter what Christians do, that if we can get the numbers from Muslim, we can carry the day. Okay. So we should have data like the census to also tell us about the religion scope of the country, so that we know our numbers.
Okay.
Are you getting that? So back to the planning side, which is also census and flood prevention planning.
Okay.
I believe if they really go all out in the next 90 days, like the president has said, well, we have a very good framework with respect to that. But mind you, in history, especially our government, Buhari to be precise, he has been given plenty of mandates, plenty of time frames, and they do not come to fruition. Remember when he said that it will take 2 weeks for the government and ASU to resolve their matters. Lo and behold, 2 weeks passed, 2 months passed. The next thing we saw was them going to the court to slam it on ASU, even like you read on the paper, where ASU is saying that are complaining. They are crying blue mother right now.
Government
Okay.
has been known for failed promises over the years. So
yes.
it's nothing new to us anymore.
So, but I just pray that for the census, my brother, when we finish this, you need to do something to my tongue with respect to census and consensus. So for the census, I just pray that April 2023, that should happen. And for this flood prevention, they should please, in all honesty, come out in the next 90 days and give us a plan. Because see, from what is happening in the next, I am predicting that in the next 4 years, something of this nature will happen if we don't put in some strong firms, put in some prevention techniques, so that the impact will not be this much come the next 4 years.
Okay, so Mr. Bishop, just before I call it a day on the program for today, what's your reaction to the effort of the government so far concerning the flood victims?
Oh, see, for the fact that even the president is out there in Abuja saying that let them plan in the next 90 days, it's a shame. It's a big shame that our president has not even visited any of these IDPs.
Yes.
I'm not even calling that leave the flooded area. Just go near the IDPs and just go and see them at least. If Niger Delta is too far from him, Lagos to Kogi, I say Lagos, Abuja to Kogi is not far. You should just go there and go and just show empathy, show some kind of love to your people. It's very disheartening, you know. But look at, nobody is even clamoring, nobody even saying about that, because we know the kind of president that we have that does not even. Oh gosh.
Okay.
Let me not say.
Okay. So, any words of encouragement for the flood-affected victims out there?
Oh, sure. They should stay strong. In fact, our visit last weekend to the flood victims made me know that CEO, person will not get person for this country. Sorry, I'm using pidgin. Some people are there because they don't have family, they don't have helpers, they don't have even insurance. Oh God, we do not even talk about insurance. Oh my boy, oh my brother, nobody to run to. So they are just at that IDP camp. You saw some of the gory images that we got from that IDP camp, my brother, because people don't have where to run to. The elderly, the young. That is why when people get the slimmest opportunity to enter into government, they want to steal for their fourth generation because they know that there's no help.
Poverty rate in the country is something else.
It's something else, my brother. It's so pathetic. So please, they should stay strong, okay? All right. There is still hope. There's still hope. They should just stay strong.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Victor, for your time on the program today. I really do appreciate. And I also appreciate you, my faithful viewers, who have been watching us, sticking to your screens up until this time. I say thank you so much, because without you, we would not be here. But as you know, everything that has a beginning has an end. And this is the end of the newspaper review for today, being the 25th of October 2022. My name is Cyril Aloysius once again. Please, if you like what you're seeing, do want to subscribe to this channel and follow us on all our social media platforms. You can check us out on YouTube, we are TAF TV, on Instagram, we're at TAF TV _NG, on Facebook, we're at TAF TV, and on Twitter, we're at TAF TV. Thank you so much once again. Until I come your way again next time, do enjoy the rest of your days. Bye for now.